Sorry for the delay, guys. I was hoping that I could have done this show live from my laptop, which I had some visuals and video clips I wanted to show you. Hold on, it's kind of cold in here, so I've kind of bundled up. Whoa, hold on. I got a delay on my laptop. Whoa, I got a delay on my laptop. There we go. All right, we should be good now. Can you guys hear me and everything? Is audio working? Let me scroll through. I know some of you guys had questions. I hopped in the chat early. Thank you so much. We got 20 people popping in. Well, it's going up by the second, but we got 20 likes already. So thank you so much. Hello, early ones. Zen Ginger, Fish Tropic, uh, Chavy Fish, Carlos Campos, Christy, Pete, the Plant Man. How's it going? Animal Lover number one. Hello, my friend. Let's see here. I feel like I'm looking foggy. I think there's a smudge on the lens. Let's see if we can bring some clarity. That's still not so clear. Let's see if we can get any clarity in life. So it's a little better, I suppose. We'll switch around the other camera. All right. Gnarly Fish Tanks, what's up? Fish Room Fever. Mo Brown says, hello, I've been watching all year, never been able to catch a live stream. Love that you do teach me so much, push me further in the hobby. No problem, thank you. That's kind of what I want to do in the YouTubes. That's kind of the point of the secret history living in the in your aquarium. I just saw your comments on LRB. My condolences and blessings. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fishy Fun 57. On another note, which is really unrelated to fish keeping, but I thought I'd let you know that it's probably going to occupy a bit of my mind and time in the near future. I had a very close friend of mine who unfortunately was murdered. A gal that I was very close with in college and remain friends with to this day. She had moved to Belize and was building her dream house on a piece of property on the beach where she could snorkel every day. It was just gorgeous down there, like paradise. And she had a husband down there for several years, and he was murdered last year. Well, she just started dating again and met somebody online, and within a week of them dating or so, unfortunately, she was murdered by him, stabbed to death by him. So that was in the news. I actually found out from BBC World News that my friend had passed away that way. So I might be doing some sort of fundraiser in the near future for like a charity against domestic violence. Uh, all right, let's see here. Who else? Mary Mayfield, hello. And by the way, guys, her name was Ari. Ariana. She was half ethnically from Belize, half of her family, and the other half's, I guess, Anglo-Saxon American. But yeah, she was really special. So shout out to her and her family. All right, guys. So let's see here. What's going on? What's new? I wanted to talk about a couple things. Oh, there's some clarity to the picture. First thing, sorry, I scuffed up my eye. So just that's life. I just don't want people to be like, did he have a black eye? What's going on? My wife's out of town, so she's not even here to beat me. I mean, not to make jokes about domestic violence so quickly, man. Awkward. But yeah, okay. So let's get this show on the road. I want to talk tonight a little bit about fish breeding, getting nano fish to breed and like how to set that up in a space as small as an apartment. And also, I wanted to just show you guys some of the little critters in my tank. But before we do that, I thought I'd do an update with some of my friends who are in the import-export business. And particularly all my friends who export, so Chase Canton, who has the Macrostoma bettas, he is a diver and he dives into the Puget Sound and he catches gooey ducks and clams and spearfishes and does all sorts of stuff. But they sell a lot of these bivalves and things to China, and right now, literally, they're not able to sell anything right now. The economy there, the markets there are completely shut down. And I don't know if that'll be happening here in the US. The WHO just the World Health Organization just said that it looks inevitable that this will spread around the world and maybe with us for years to come. So if you're curious about the virus and also about fish and if you can catch viruses or bacteria or fungi or parasites from fish, the answer is yes, and it can kill you, several of them, especially if you have immune problems. You can check out my last live cast. I did a lot of research, didn't answer a ton of your guys' questions, and wasn't super interactive. It was more of an hour and a half lecture, so to speak. So if you're interested in that, you can hop back in time. Just go to my channel and look for, I think it was 4 videos ago. All right, what's up, The Element? Let's see. Audio's good. All right, good to go. All right. Carlos Cardenas, hello. Nathan Hudo, first stream, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Joe Black, yes, I am feeling a little better. I was not able to go to Austin, Texas with my wife. I was hoping to go look for some cichlids while I was there, as well as some of their native fish. Also check out some fish shops, and I was going to take a mini road trip because she's been there a week. I was going to take a road trip and actually find out if I could go to the Texas Cichlid Exchange and check that place out. So, all right. So let's see here. Valentine's Day was good. Aqua Balls, how are you doing? I hope everyone else had a great Valentine's Day as well. And Fishy Fun 57 says, advice on sparkling gouramis, white clouds, and neon breeding would be great. Yeah, we can talk totally about that. Let me just finish my little China talk, and we'll just, how about, you guys don't need to look at my mug. Let's switch over to Fish Cam. I also have baby cribs. There's 2 sets of cribs in my 40 bow front, and they actually have both pairs have fry. And I noticed something interesting in that one of the males totally colored down and is just been hiding and off on his own. And then there's a female guarding one set of fry. So there's actually, I've never seen this. Please let me know if you guys have seen this. But there are 2 broods of fry in a colony, and they're in different spots, and there's actually a female guarding one set of the fry and a male guarding the other set. Normally, only the males guard the fry, and to the point where if they have several clutches, they can actually starve to death because they'll stay with it so loyally. Just kind of odd news, but I'll show you that in a moment here. That's what you'll be seeing, other than just an update on my Aquascape 90p 50-gallon system over here also. But yeah, so let me take a sip of this, set it down. We'll discuss the details on China, which are very interesting for the hobby. So it appears that um, there are secret suppliers of all sorts of fish all around the world. A lot of times Thailand will say, "Oh, we buy these fish from the wild, or we don't breed them, or someone else breeds them," and in reality, they might very well be wild caught, or they might be uh, bred in the facility, and they don't want people to know that they have that ability yet because the market price is so much higher when they're rare. Hey, look at who's out in the middle of the day. Well, not middle of the day, but in the early evening with the lights still on. I've been wanting to do a whole episode on these guys, but getting enough B-roll footage just to make a 10-minute video of them out in the open has been a little rough. The leopard frog plecos. Sounds like Aquatic Arts sold out, so the link in the description that you guys always hit up, Aquatic Arts. I know a lot of you guys get your discount there. Plus, I have the announcement to make. You guys have made it in past the first 10 minutes, so you get to hear it. A lot of people peel off right away. But Aquatic Arts and we will be giving away a $100 gift certificate and I believe four $50 gift certificates to people who have used Aquatic Arts. And then also, I think we have some free shipping and maybe a couple other gift certificates that I have to give away. To people who aren't buying anything but just have been in my channel, in the chats and hanging out. So that should be good. Now the other thing that's wow, this nearite snail has lost all of its shell's color. All the panda corridors in this tank are leftover babies that were born. I took the adults out, put them over in the bow front. So the other thing that I was saying is we don't honestly know what fish are being bred in captivity and which ones are being caught from the wild sometimes. This is just because it is a kind of a proprietary thing, especially with shrimp in Japan and Taiwan, as well as mainland China and Hong Kong, and Macau. Macau and Hong Kong are kind of like Puerto Rico or Guam would be to the U.S., or like the Virgin Islands would be to the U.K. or the Falklands or something. But in any case, it's a territory and they're exerting more and more control. As you know, there are lots of protests that were already disrupting things, but the vast majority of the oh, and here is one of the other leopard frog plecos out too. That's cool. There's two out for you guys. That's a rare treat. I love them. They're beautiful to watch. I think I've sexed one as a female and one as a male, and then this one, there's another one back there. They're not very colored up right now. They're kind of like a cream tone rather than their full electric yellow that they'll be when I feed them. You know what? We'll feed them right now. Also, I've been using hydrogen peroxide in a syringe and actually killing stuff on the rocks, and up here. I'll just clean all that off. But literally injecting it and spot treating. But you know who's done a good job are these reticulated algae eaters. Are just great. They're phenomenal. Love them. They're doing a good job. The Florida flagfish, he just was lazy and not doing anything. Also, the Autosynclus is eating a lot of just other algae, but he'll take the blackbeard off while he's bored. And these angels are so they're so feisty and ready to come eat, and so's that ram, this one ram, that they're actually, when they get bored, they're seemingly ripping off little pieces of blackbeard algae back in the corner. Also, I've got my, well, you would have seen them, but the long fin albino pleco pair. They had babies in the tube. I think he's still guarding it. I hope. Yeah, he'll go back in probably. He comes out to eat every once in a while. But as I was gonna say, the flow of commerce is going to be heavily disrupted. So already there's over a 30% tariff when everything's said and done, which is kind of interesting in that we imposed a 25% tariff, or Donald Trump and his administration and the trade commissions have put that up, and basically that translated into a 31% increase. When I talked to like Cory, who owns Aquarium Co-op, or the people down at the Wet Spot in Portland, so they're literally doing. There's something more than just the cost of the tariffs and subsidies and embargoes. We have certain things we're not allowing traded at all, and then tariffs. So certain things we're propping up the U.S. We're kind of giving subsidies and preferential treatment to our own goods and resources, while theirs have to pay a tax. So also look at this cute little Cory. They're so cute when they're still white, the Panda Corys, when they're still light peach color and black. So there's still some babies that are just coming out of the woodwork here. Also, the Persicaria is just doing great. I've just chopped and replanted a bunch. I'll have a little forest of it. I think we've got about 8 starts here. The Pink Panther does look different than the Pink Flamingo. The Pink Flamingo has a lot less green leaves in it, and it's the little pieces. Remember, I said I'd update you guys on how it's doing. Whereas the Pink Panther, in between the Persicaria Sao Paulo, it looks phenomenal. It looks great. So I don't know. There may be a slight difference in those two strains, even though I thought they were the same. I was under the impression that Pink Panther was the Aqua Design Amano brand, and that Pink Flamingo was simply the Tropica brand that was created. So yeah, thanks. Somebody likes the Angels. That is good. You can see here I got these from Aquatic Arts also, and they're just looking really good. The Venezuelas, they're Corydorus Venezuelas. They're looking really good. They colored up just like the wild ones that I have in here. So they're that nice orange color. And cutting back on the amount, the females are a little less orange. There's a female back there. Cutting back on that, the amount of Corys in here, instead of having like 30 Corys in here, having maybe a dozen or so, has been a lot better for these plants. Some of them are still getting roughed up and uprooted. The carpet never took because of them, but that's okay. So other than that embargo, that is, or the tariff, sorry, that is one thing that is just a pain and has caused things to go up in price anyways. You're finding out too, when people don't want to tell you if their stuff is made in America or not, like, or if it's just assembled in America. We're also finding things like the dollar per gallon sale still went on. So either they have a giant warehouse full of it, or everything's actually being assembled in the United States, which would be great with Petco and PetSmart and the big box stores. Come on, stay down. Stay down, Rocky. But the next wave is actually a lot harsher in that we will not... Also, turquoise is showing up in this nice male angel here. Tell he's growing up to be a male in that nose has a very pronounced bump on his... See that bump on his snout? Whereas this guy, gal, does not have a bump. This one's questionable, but this one has a nice rounded face. So basically, we are not importing anything from China at the moment that is live animals. And all our goldfish, a lot of koi that aren't super high end, but more consumer level koi. I mean, panda loaches, gouramis, lots of neocaridina and crystal shrimp, things like that. A ton of that comes in, goes to Seagrass or to other distributors around the country, and it's not going to be coming in. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, how much America will pick up the slack, or what species we're just not going to see for a while. As you probably saw on Aquarium Co-op's channel a while back, he went to Israel, and Israel has a large goldfish farm, the biggest in the world, I believe, out in the desert. And, that might be something that's fired up. Maybe that's where all our goldfish are going to be coming from for the near future. But a lot of this can really respell, retrace, reroute trade lines for good, permanently. So it'll be interesting to see if we can do without the Chinese fish, or if if that price really is so low that we need it. And the other thing that is interesting is, so a lot of the Chinese companies require Indonesian, Malaysian, Thai, and Cambodian. I mean, you name it, from all over the world. They require the fish farms that they have, Indonesia and Malaysia being the big ones. And China used to be a cheap place, but now the middle class is growing and growing and growing, and there are more middle class people living in China currently than there are middle class Americans. And believe this, out of 1.4 billion people, there's actually more Chinese period, or more middle class Chinese period than there are Americans total. So it's definitely growing, and a lot of their fish and things like that. See, now we're getting some of the catfish out. Very rarely, back there's one that just showed out for a second. Very rarely do I ever see the Synodontis that I love so much. I got 4 of the mustard Synodontis from Aquatic Arts, and if I could go back in time, I would definitely not put them in this tank. They love it in here because of the rocks and everything, but it is not good in that they only come out when it's pitch black, except for readjusting where they're at. As I promised, I'm working also, and what I was gonna do tonight was actually, I was gonna do a piece to show you guys the difference between all the various glass cleaning fish. So we've got flying foxes, Siamese algae eaters, reticulated algae eaters, reticulated hillstream loaches, all the guys that eat off the algae. Some of them eat blackbeard algae for you. And yeah, so also there, we've got him coming back out, which is great. These guys are really hard to sex. They get fatter and fatter. So this one is about 3.5 inches long, and he's at his max length and markings. But the way you can tell their gender is by the texture next to their ear here. So if they have onodontodes there and above their eye, they're generally male. And then you can't tell for sure until they're a little older, and then they'll start getting a pot belly. So that's how you technically That's the surefire way. See, there's another one back in there. That's the surefire way to identify them. Aquatic Arts had them going for like $43 a piece. I'm kicking myself that I didn't have enough money to buy them. Again, I didn't go on my trip, which I thought like, oh, well, that'll save money. But, you know, my wife still went because it was a work conference for her for the first 2 days. And I stayed home watching the home front and did some home repairs and a dentist appointment, and then also the doctor. Not to get too into it, but because of my lupus and because they're trying to figure out why my pituitary system is not working at its peak, they have I haven't had uh, progesterone, human growth hormone, testosterone, estrogen, all that stuff is like almost non-existent in my system. So I've been very just tired and worn out, and then also I have no immune response to speak of at the moment. Very poor immune system. So that's why I wasn't able to go to Texas. Also, Lucas Bretz is closing up shop. He's moving down to the Virgin Islands, and where JH Aquatics is, Joseph is. And basically, man, the color's so washed out. To me, this is a bright orange, neon orange. Maybe you can see it from above. If we look down, you can see the color more accurately sometimes in a live stream. Whatever. But he's moving down there. He's selling his entire house and every fish, every tank in it for $500,000. The house is probably worth $350,000 to or $3 to $350,000, and he lives in Indianapolis, and he's selling that. So Lucas Bretz is selling the farm, as they say. Boy, look how blue when they're eating. They get so excited. Their eyes get so red, and their all the streamers turn colors. And there's the last Pleco back there. But he's given up a lot of the strains and things. He said he's going to hold on to some stuff, but I talked to him, and I'm going to be doing... I've done his artwork, by the way, so if you've bought merch from LRB Aquatics, I'm the one who did the artwork and his layout and his icons and all, that kind of jazz. So let's hop over to the other tank right now. Also, I got this plant at Trader Joe's. If you guys have a Trader Joe's near you, this will be all over the country, but they're nice purple plants for $3.99 in a pot. That was a pretty good score right there. I don't happen to know the name of it because I'm not the best land botanist unless it is native to North America. Now, over here, we have the other two angels. The last thing I was going to tell you guys about the quarantine on goods is they have literally shut down completely all of the wet markets in China that have live wild specimens. So that actually has included, from what my friends in Guangzhou and Ningbo and Shenzhen, that is what... See, here's the male that doesn't have any eggs. Well, that was him, of the Kribs. And they have informed me that there is absolutely no fish market right now in China. I mean, there's no anything. I mean, you can't even go get your basic needs met in some places at the moment. Whereas others, you can still get groceries and basic pharmacy. They've made it illegal to sell cough syrup for some reason. I guess there was a rush on it, maybe. So here's an interesting little thing. We've got the female right here. You can see her maybe a little bit. And she is guarding... Can we get the babies in there? She's guarding these babies. Or eating them? Is she eating them? Is she going to spit them back out, guys? Now I'm nervous. Maybe she's not raising them. Maybe she's just straight up eating them. She is. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me reach my arm in here and just get her out of there. We're going to raise these on without parents. Sorry, fishies. Jeez. All right, hold on. Let me grab another container real quick here. Sorry to interrupt the live stream. I'm setting this down because she wasn't being kind unless they're in her mouth and she's just waiting to set them back down. Wouldn't that be lovely? Hold on. Okay. I'm here, guys. I'm still here. Alright. Wow, she was literally eating those babies as we watched, wasn't she? So, washing out the log, putting it in a mason jar. Let's see, what were we able to even get out of that? Oh, we got quite a few. Lots of little wigglers. Alright. So I'll put the log back in. Let's see if she spits out anything. She could be pulling the mouth brooding trick, but this is not a mouth brooding species. So, but they are a hybrid, which does make them an oddball. So we'll see what happens here in a moment. Is she gonna spit out the babies? And did I just take the babies from her for no good reason? Or I don't know. It looks like chewing to me, doesn't it, guys? Come on. Come on. Focus. So she went right back in there, though. Is she gonna spit out the babies? Yes, I stole her babies, but the male protects the babies in this species. And as I was saying, she was just eating them. They're not mouth brooders. We were literally watching her put them in her mouth. And she's still all colored up. There's a male right there that wasn't in there. Yes, they're Kribensis. They're a hybrid Kribensis that I've created. So they have Nigerian Red, Lacunja Upper Falls, and Bupindi in there. And basically, is she spitting them out? Are they in her cheeks? Or is she just totally eating them? Well, maybe she's just putting oxygen in on them. Although now she's like eating food out of the cave. They'll make more babies. They're Kribs. That's what they do. But to get them to spawn, all I do is they've paired off for life. These Kribs have. And so all I have to do is keep them together and they keep spawning. Well, yeah, if she's chewing, she was chewing a long time. Exactly. But it's so weird that she is the one protecting the cave. So I want to know if any of you guys have bred Kribensis. These are technically, they would have been called Tinniatus in the past. But she's huffing a lot of water through her gills, like she might still have them in her cheeks. But she managed to eat some food also. And Dad has from the other clutch, and now he's over here concerned. The other clutch of eggs is back in that corner, and they have hatched, and they're all little babies hanging out together. And yeah, one male has just been hanging out all alone, not taking care of the babies, and she has been in there with them in this set. How did I get them to breed? I have videos on how to get Kribs to breed if you're having trouble, But these ones, literally, I've had them pair off. Um, I've had them pair off, and essentially, since they've paired off, they spawn every few months, pretty much on cue. Uh, and then sometimes they don't actually let. Don't the angels murk my fry at night? No, the angels actually uh, can't get near the fry because these guys are so protective of the fry, and I've planted the tank and also created hold on. If you check it out, the angels try to get down to where the cribs are, but they don't like it when their fins are pinned. So all the little passages that I created under here, the hardscape itself is actually too narrow for them to get through with their fins. And so they're able to swim through there, and the angels can't bug them. So they stay with their babies down at the very bottom. I don't know what she's doing, if she has them in her mouth or not. I don't think she does, um, because she's chasing away other things. It's his job. In the crib world, it's his job to stay with the eggs. Mother's job is to take them out and take them out for food once they're babies. These babies are so young. Look at how young they are. They just hatched. So let's see if we can get a better lighting on them. They're just barely even like little egg sack hatchlings. So I need to get them downstairs into another tank. Perhaps I could take the parents and they would help raise them, but I think I'll separate them from their parents for a while now. So let's go downstairs and I'll show you. Also, thank you so much for the super chat. I just noticed that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Nice sexy fish, the aquarium guys podcast. As I said, there's no surer way to get a shout out for your channel and your activities than give me a super chat with your name on it. Cause yeah, check out the aquarium guys podcast. So, did she spit out any babies? No. You guys might not be able to see, but I can see. And there are no babies. She ate them. But you guys saw it first. She was eating them as soon as I started filming. I don't know. It could have been a nervous reaction. Maybe I startled her. But they've raised successful cribs, babies many times. Also, Sergio up here, he's doing his thing. He's paired off with, she, where is she? Over there. She's paired off with Sergio. He's not being as mean as he's been in the past. He's been in timeout for like 6 months. So, maybe that bad luck is over. If we can count these guys, it looks like we've got, man, there's actually a lot. Let me put it on something with some contrast. National Geographic, that'll do. We've got quite a few babies here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 40, 50. So there's probably 60 babies here. I am tempted. You know what I'm tempted to do, guys? Is I'm going to get a turkey baster, and I'm going to give her back some. And we'll leave that tank alone, actually. But half of them I'm going to raise on my own. We'll do an experiment live. So let's get the turkey baster, and let's see what happens. Again, oh, another super chat, $5 from the Zen Ginger. I don't care about a shout out, but now I know you're reading super chats. Do you know how to get rid of staghorn algae except or besides manual removal? Manual removal and also I would say Florida flagfish. Those work well. But I would use hydrogen peroxide and manual removal. Kind of the same as blackbeard algae. So that would be my my go-to. So we're gonna check out all the fry downstairs too. It's really important, especially with like panda loaches and things like that, that we are trying to breed them. Wow, look at that top fin on him or on her now. This fish was a Petco by this one, and it was a score. Just very nice looking fish. But yeah, it's so. We're gonna give her back some of the babies. Let me reach in there again. We'll see what she does with them. I don't know if Sergio is a sclera. Yes, I'm sorry about the shaky camera, Blair Witch style filming just there. All right, come out. Come out. Oh, there were 2 babies left in there. So we're going to put some water in here. I'll lean it up. We'll get the turkey baster. And let's see here. I'm going to give her a good amount back. I actually filled that a little full. Let me take some of that water out. Take some of the water out. All right. So, oh, and I dropped 3 on the magazine. Boy, we're just a mess here tonight, folks. Oh, but we got them all. So, putting them back in. Let's see, how many how many do we have to put downstairs now? Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. We'll take 20 downstairs, and we'll give her back about 30. Now, she may just eat these immediately, but such is the life. Hey, look at this. Looks like a little sperm swimming. All right, we'll suck you back up. Oh, I didn't get you. Come on. Oh, now I've gone and done it. Need more water tension. All right, gotcha. All right, putting you back in the jar. You little guys get to go back to the bottom. Now, I don't want this to just suction up with water and they all come floating out. But that will happen to a couple as I'll try to cover them with my hand. You see one just went floating down. Cover it with my hand all the way down. And then we'll place that there. See if she takes them back. I don't know. Sometimes these things can be too traumatic. But we'll sit back just for a sec since this is all live. She's in. He's in. What would you guys like me to do? They do this a lot. So I'm not that upset. I'm not that upset if I lose them. But would you guys like me to shine a light in there and see what's going on right this moment? Is she eating them all? Or would you like me to leave her alone? Because maybe we stressed her out and that's why she ate them. No, she's chasing something. Okay. All right, let's shine a light. The crowd says light. Aziz, light. So she's kind of guarding. Oh, what? There are 2 females. I repeat, there are 2 females that were protecting that. I don't know what in the world is going on. That is bizarre. They should be the men guarding it, but gosh, I don't know what's going on. All right. So we'll let them see if they can, take care of their own babies. They've evolved to do it for millions of years, even though right now they've turned science and evolution on its head by having the 2 females protecting the cave. There are a lot of babies in there still. There's a good 30, 40 of them in there probably. And they're chasing off the Corydoras, who are not going to be the problem. If anything, there's a few Tetras in here and a Pleco, but those Corys aren't going to really care what's going on. But this guy here is starting to color up again, which is interesting. Maybe they'll spawn again. I'm not sure. She's definitely... Oh, it looks like she's chewing again, doesn't it, guys? Is she chewing again? Is that what's happening? So sometimes they'll eat them if they think it's stressful, and they'll just respawn in a month later. Yeah, she's eating them. Well, all right, guys, what an exciting evening. So we've saved, let's count the final countdown of what we've saved. So we have saved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 on the dot. 20 Krib babies on the dot look to be saved. Now, they might mold. They might not have enough nutrients in their egg sacs. Who knows? Yes. 2 fish, 1 cave. Right now it's 20 fish, 1 cup. All right. Now we have to decide what the heck tank do I want to put these in. So I could put them in with my shrimp. Battis would mean death. Or I could put them in with the baby. Let me show you here. I've rearranged since another video, and I also found a specimen that must have leaped a year ago or so that was behind a dresser. Really gross. But Trilineatus corridora decided to pull a free willy behind the dresser over there. So I thought I'd show you guys that, because I'm a sick man. What causes staghorn? Deer. They break into your house in the middle of the night, and they put their antlers in your fish tank. No, it's just a spore that happens to live on certain plants and aminals. Up here we've got a catappa leaf, and we did have some Fongzi rasbora in here, babies that I've been feeding. And then we also have right here, you can see some on the glass, kind of. Maybe you guys can see them. They're really small. On the glass, see those little silver dots with the little streak behind them? Some are upside down and some are right side up. Those are the bettas. So I stole another batch of fish. I'm such a thief. I stole another batch of fish. So we've got bettas, and then we've got some Fongzi rasboras in here that are all just under a week old. So let me You know, there might be actually babies still in the bulb of the plunger, but let me move some of the water around and we'll take a look again. You know, I got this light at the dollar store. I saw one at Walgreens, but I got it at the dollar store for $1. And it's a little hook light. It's really bright here, but it's got another LED. So like this, like a normal flashlight. But I love it because I can hook it onto the side of my aquarium at just an angle, and then it can show me my baby fish and the debris, and it can really illuminate whatever is on the side walls of the aquarium. You know, the life that has been seeded. Let's see here. Oh, and there is pointed out, I'm glad they did, because I totally didn't even think about it. But there is bladderwort in here, and that will have the ability to actually catch some of the small fish and eat them, which sounds crazy, but it can do that when you've got something as small as a betta fry. We're not seeing them all swimming around in the open like they were earlier. And I don't quite know what... Oh, there's one up there. These are the Somfongzi rasboras, the ones that are bigger. So you guys think... I think that if I keep an eye on it, I think we can put these guys all together. I think we'll just make this the fry tank. Here we go. I'll have to pull those cichlids out, though. Probably within a week, they'll be the size that they'll just eat all those bettas. And then soon after, the Somfongzis. But to get this oh, and we'll fish that bladderwort out right now. With a little dental tool. So if anybody's wondering, this is a carnivorous plant. Let's put it where y'all can see it. This is all live and unscripted, in case you were wondering. Yes, believe it or not, I did not script this episode. I did not spend 17 hours this week training the female betta to eat her babies exactly when I filmed. Totally didn't do that at all, in hopes of super chat money. All right, so this is bladderwort. You see those little cups there? Those can actually catch the head even, not just the tail, but the head of betta fry the first few days. Stuff's a pain in the butt. Yeah, no fish were hurt in the filming of this live stream. Well, except for that one. That one dead. But that happened a long time ago. No fish were hurt in the filming of this episode. Except for that one that also fell out onto the magazine. That one probably doesn't feel so hot either. But those little Krib babies are real young. They've probably hatched in the last 1 to 3 days. They're going to be sticky, and they're going to stick to the bottom of the rocks or to the glass, and then they'll start to adventure out. But they have yolk sacs still, and those yolk sacs will keep them fed for a while, whereas the betta and the Somfongzi rasboras really are born like the size, not even. I mean, look at this. They are so teeny compared to my finger. If we can you guys see this at all? That little white dot right, well, it just moved there. This little white dot right there. That is a fish that has been hatched for 3 days now, right at the water line there. And yeah, that's what let's see if we can zoom in. We can, good. All right. Sorry guys, I know this is nauseating until I get it on there. But Oh, we got a hydra right there. You guys see the different webs of that, or not webs, but tentacles. We have hydra in there, and then oh, there's the fish. So you can see that eye from this angle. That is a baby betta, and it is that teeny. There's a little seed shrimp down below it. Let's see if I can actually get it to move by getting near it. Oh, and while we're at it, why don't we take a look at this guy? So this is a more well-formed. Where'd he go? Up here. More well-formed. There's a few of them in there. Those are some fungi rasboras. And oh, I see more bladderwort. It grows very quickly, and it's very insidious once it gets going in your tank. So pull it out if you see it. All right, guys. So you guys don't need to look at baby fish anymore. I'm probably boring the hell out of you. But let's talk about nano breeding these fish. So all I needed to do, so this is going to get shaky because here, I'll just set it down. All right. I am a fan of colony breeding. So what do? I put my bettas all together. Well, I put a female and a male together in a 20 or a 40 long. And I just let them do their thing. I give them places to hide and rocks and plants. And they spawned a few days ago. And the fish started to hatch. And I didn't want to give them an entire 20 long just for the sake of them when it was their first go. But if these fish grow up to look pretty, then we'll probably donate more real estate for the next go around. Now, if you were watching the other videos on live food or one of the recent live streams, you'll know that in here I have a bunch of snails, and the snails make mucus, and then I put in one crumpled up soda cracker, which the snails will eat within about 6 hours. But also it feeds the infusoria or parameciums. And then beyond that, I will put in rabbit pellet, like from rabbit food. I'll put in like 3 little pellets in there a week. So every 3 days doing that. So yeah, every 6 days they get a cycle. With this is RO pond water basically from the rain. This is going to be chock full of food for those little fish. And this is the only food that really matters when they're that size. Now those cribs won't be eating it because they're still too small. They'll be using their yolk sac. But this white dot stuff, that's the adults. Now they'll be eating the babies. Those Somphongses will be. And these are about 1/10 of a millimeter each. It's pretty surprising that our eyes actually catch a flicker of them. Now over here, these are the new, and all behind here. These are the new Vinegar Eel Bottles, and we can already see that they're getting loaded. Look at that. Look at all the vinegar eels on here. Look at that. They've climbed up the humidity. They do this because they want air. So all we have to do, see them all on that bevel of the bottle too. And they're very small also, considering that's my pinky. And they're those little tiny squiggly things. So those are decent food also. But first we're going to feed. We've got also fry chilling in here. So we're going to give them a squirt from the dropper. And then we're also going to give... standing up. Sorry, guys. Sorry if it's shaky. We're also going to give this tank a squirt of that water, because in here I'm trying to breed Mara Rasbora. See, they're eating them real quick. These are very teeny. They're smaller than chili Rasboras even. I like them more, but I have a whole video on that. And then in here, we've got the Battis. And so we'll give them some of that as well. Shake it around, make sure they got some. And then what we're going to do here is we will open up one, hold this carefully, we will open up one Vinegar Eel Setup. And I showed you guys how to make these from scratch. Like, literally, if you don't have a culture, you can actually make them. So, no excuses, guys. And that's all the air filter to stop bacteria. Now, because I just used this turkey baster, I'm going to use a pipette. You can just clean these with whatever you want. I've got another one down here somewhere. Oh, here we are. And this lets me get right in there and select the best of that vinegar eel goodness. Gracious, great balls of fire. Now, I lost my sieve to be cleaning the vinegar eel setup. And so you'll see just this little vinegar colored cloud, which is acidic. And that's okay, because these guys can live in like 3.0 pH. So it's actually fine that that makes the water a little more acidic. They're going to go on a feeding frenzy. But this is what I feed my spawning nano fish. So all you need are these vinegar... Uh-oh. The bottles just decided to jump off the shelf. So over here, again, we're sucking up right where they're at on that concentrated spot. And then here, where are all my Battis today? I did sell a large group of them. So we'll give them some too. I want you guys to just be able to see it come out though. There we go. And between that and some of their fry food, that will do them just fine. These little guys will start eating in a minute. But right now we've got one male. See that other one's eating now, the female back there? They'll start eating now, and probably coming this way, since I put most over here. They'll start eating. Yep, here we go. And then we've got the blue Caridina shrimp, and yet again, the lower pH does not really bug the Battis. Now, they will eat their own young, so if I wanted to breed them in this nano tank, one, I'd have more plants and moss than even this, and I would keep it dark. I would probably turn off the air pump altogether, and I would lower the water temperature, and then I would put them, I'd put a male and like 3 females in, and I usually do that down there in that bottom tank. So that's a 10 gallon, 5 gallon, 5 gallon, 10 gallon. So you could do that on another set of shelves. This shelf racking was $50 at Home Depot. I can't remember the unit number, but I mean, I'm sure you guys are clever and can figure it out. And it holds plenty of weight, so that's good. And to encourage these guys to spawn again, we're gonna give them some vinegar eels. See that Betta is eating them right away. So we're gonna give the half beaks some So we're giving all these little fish some to kind of keep them in good shape for breeding. And then what I'll do a week before I'm really ready to breed, see, even all the tin winnies are coming in. All the tin winnie danios are coming in for the kill, and so's the female Betta is coming out. She might even go bug the male. And they will chase each other, but I guess what I'm trying to think of the proper word. Despite the popular belief, male and female bettas can live in harmony in the same tank. If they're the same brood, like from the same parent, I've had as many as 100 bettas living in a tank together. I need these to do a new project up there. AQUATIC is going to be delivering me some new stuff, new fish. I think I'm going to be doing Celebi or Celebs rainbow fish. And then I also plan on doing Luminatus, or Pascal, if you want to call them that, or Neon Red, Angel, or Rainbow Fish. So I'll be doing that. Now, I did feed the infusoria to these guys, but what they really need is the vinegar eels. The vinegar eels will be a much better fit for them because they're larger, and it just works out better. It gets their hunting spirit up. It gets their colors good. And now the other thing I do that you can do, the literature is not, it's not actually, even though a lot of companies do it, it's not sound on it, but you can fortify your vinegar eels with vitamins by putting more vitamins in each bottle. And same with your infusoria. Over here, we've got the koi guppies. We also have the Malawa shrimp. This is all low tech, no CO2 or anything. We have a Panda Cory, all the Malawa shrimp. And then, where are they? There should be the Somfongzi adults in here. And then there should be around 30, believe it or not, emerald dwarf rasboras, also known as, well, we'll just feed you guys if you're the ones who are here. Oh, here comes the Somfongzi rasboras right here. Now, these were thought to be extinct, and an employee of Aquarium Glacier in Germany actually noticed that they had come through with some lamb chop rasboras and was like, those aren't baby lamb chop rasboras, they're something else. So here you can see the Danios, the emerald dwarf rasboras starting to come. Also, the ones that I haven't gotten to spawn yet are these guys, if we can get a shot of them. I've had them in the other tank. I have a group of 9 or 10 of them now. But these in here, there's a male and a female alone. And I just thought maybe a baby would appear at some point if I put them in here and feed live food. But this, and they have all the shrimps they could want, but those are banded loaches. Those are banded border loaches, multi-band loaches. Oh, send in prayers for the wee baby Kribs. Thank you. Won't hydras do the babies in? Yes, hydras can do baby fish in. However, that tank on the bottom does not have hydras because it has all sorts of Daphnia and other little boogeymen is in there. And I've also had the parents in there for a week. For the Somfongzi rasboras, they were in there for a week before I allowed it to be left alone for the new spawn. What did I do with my little filter, my little piece of filter floss? Hold on, guys. I'd lose my head if it weren't screwed on. Usually with vinegar eels, you want to use something like this, the brine shrimp net mesh, and then rinse it off thoroughly with water, that kind of thing. But we don't always have that luxury. I lost my baby brine shrimp hatchery mesh little scoop thing, and I am so upset about it. Makes me so mad. Now, I will also save something to show you guys about when you're breeding in the house. These are okay. I mean, sometimes they fall over, but they've got the floss, and then they've also got a wire rack's just not a good thing. I put down board for the other stuff. But I wanted to show you, oh, it smells so bad I need to throw it out tonight, what happens when vinegar eels go wrong. So this is what happens if they only have 2 air holes. I was experimenting how low an air hole we could do. And instead of vinegar eels, there's some other god-awful nematode in there that under a microscope looks like a monster from a Ray Harryhausen movie. So that's that. In here, tonight I was going to actually take all the red root floaters, soak them in a bowl, and then put them in here, and then reintroduce them to the tank and skim this awful, awful duckweed. Look how thick this duckweed is. I'm pretty sure that Jesus didn't turn water into wine. He turned water into duckweed, and that's how he walked across it. Like, seriously. Ugh. Drives me nuts. But I'll probably do a whole video on how to get rid of duckweed. There's 2 main ways that I'll tell you real quick. And the first main way is you fill it up all the way to the top if you can, and you overflow it. And if you can file a little bevel, even if it's a few millimeters, like even if it's just, an 1/8 of an inch, the water will come out there and you can just keep filling it slowly. It's best if you have a hole drilled, and then you can get the top of the water and just kind of work it over because it floats. But yes, so that's one option you can do with that. And then the other option, so there's the Luminatus, the red pseudomcgills. I will be raising them, and I'll be showing you guys mop spawning in a nano environment. Even though they do spawn with all this moss and all these different plants being so thick here, they do spawn, especially with the water lettuce and the red root floaters. The babies can hide somewhat. But now that I've got these albino, these guys, the albino tiger barbs, oh man, he's so red from eating all the Daphnia. And then we also have another predator who took out almost every shrimp in here. That's a Honduran red point right there, guys. That's that little fish I was raising as a mystery, remember, about 1.5 years ago? Well, out of the 4 fry that I had that were super teeny, there was that. Also, brine hinch hatcheries. There is a great link in, I believe it's in the description here. If it's not in here, go to the live food video that I did on how to hatch brine shrimp, or how to hatch vinegar eels, and infusoria. Also, this is another infusoria. This is just tank water with a dead fish in it. It's gross. But it is teeming full of little life right now, sitting in the windowsill. Same with here, no dead fish, just plants. It's green water I could be feeding those baby fish green water also. But there's also planaria at the bottom there that have been self-surviving in there for 2 years. So, I don't know, or a year and some odd months, near 2 years. What was the last thing I was going to show you? Oh, so here in this tank, this is concerning me. We have massive hydra in this tank. I mean, huge. Some of them are like 1/4 inch long. Look at it. With its tentacles, this one's an inch long. Its tentacle goes all the way to there. So I hate them. I need to figure out how I want to get rid of them. And I'm not exactly sure what I'll do short of putting bigger fish in. But this is definitely a problem for all of my breeding. All these damn Hydra. I don't know what causes them to explode in numbers, but I certainly have it happen. They look like sea anemones. They're just freaking everywhere. This one, you can see its foot. It's actually digesting something. I don't know if it caught a baby fish or what the deal is, but they flail their arms out, and they're catching all my little water bugs. I think that might be part of it, is that, you know, I'm allowing all these little seed shrimp and white little dots to swim around. So there's just straight up food for another critter that's eggs are in everything. And once it notices that it can have a foothold, it will take off. Which is something, yes, overfeeding definitely can cause it. However, this tank has only been getting live food, and it's definitely not overfed. It's just those little 5 little rasboras and a few shrimp, few Caridina shrimp, wild ones. Up here, never have any. This snail's getting old and large. It's always been in charge. And then up over here, no hydra what to speak of, just some algae and then seed shrimp. They seem to eat the hydra. There, down there. So I don't know. Hydra must be in my tap water because they appear, or in my air in my house, because they appear even in non-planted tanks, just like Tupperware if it sits for more than a month. This tank, I need to re-aquascape, clean the glass. It's starting to grow algae. It's got a 2 week of a light. Yes, so you can use Roxana. That's a great one. You can definitely take duckweed, dry it out, and use it as goldfish food, rabbit food. I mean, humans could eat it. It's high in protein. And also, by the way, this Betta, it doesn't have its nest anymore, but there are still baby Bettas. I can see 2 little fry right there. And these half beaks are just loving that he sucks at parenting. And these half beaks are just swooping in and eating them all, even in the lily pads. But the main thing that will stop duckweed, other than goldfish or over flooding the tank so that it spills out, is the main thing is really just going to be to put some agitation in. So what I'm going to do, instead of having this be a flooded forest floor, is we're going to take the power head that's still sitting back in there. It's 500 gallons per hour power head, and we're going to crank that up. We're going to turn these all the way up instead of all the way down. Right now, they're like algae slip and slides. And what I do is I'll actually take this piece, and it comes off in this filter. I'll take that piece and I'll put it underwater in the Pandagaras. And then also, before they died, not all of them are dead, but all but 3 are, the Panda Loaches. They love that slimy rock, and that's what I've been trying to get them to spawn in, to breed in. Without luck thus far. Now, the other thing that I've been having quite a bit of with colony breeding is planaria. Here's some planaria on the glass. The fish in here, specifically the emerald dwarf rasboras, which now you're starting to see the fact that I have 30 babies that are growing up. And these babies actually, and all these shrimp are actually kind of swarming around too. But these babies, these emerald dwarf rasboras, they were born in this tank over here. And that's also, if we take a look, well, that'll be the last tank to check out for the night. at the moment. And also, by the way, guys, I'm getting, sorry about the water stains. I know it's annoying. I am getting, what do you call them? I can't say it right now. My mind's shot. Hongsnoi epistogrammas. I'm getting epistogrammas. The HONGSOI. Hongsoi. I'm missing a letter. Brain not computing. Sorry. Yeah, chicken food. Yep, you guys are so correct. Duckweed is great chicken food. And over Hongsloi. Thank you, Chevy Fish. I appreciate that. Planaria do kill shrimp. Oh my God! Look, they're gonna kill it. It's gonna kill it right now. It's gonna grab it and kill it. It's gonna get. Oh, no. You know how they kill them? They actually kill shrimp by they have when they get too dense, they get networks, and they make a sticky, gross network. By the way, I have a freshwater sponge growing again in this tank, which is cool. Remember when I had one upstairs, the mythical blob Bob the sponge, and so what they'll do is they make this gross fortress where they all hang out like a den, and you can actually take a turkey baster. I'm telling you, turkey basters are a great thing to have. You can take a turkey baster and you can just literally like do one puff in, and then they'll ball up and they'll try to get small instead of be swimming around, and then they'll float for a sec. And so when you squirt the water or air blast into them in their den, then they come floating up and you can suck them up in about two little suctions with a pipette or a turkey baster, or I guess you could use a gravel vac too, or any sort of siphon, and that gets rid of the planaria den. However, a lot of people think planaria just like hunt down shrimp and eat them, and same with hydra. And the reason people think that is because the second a shrimp dies, it is eaten by planaria. Baby shrimp are really quick. Planaria are not. And baby shrimp can be killed by planaria. I've seen it once. But in all my time, I've had lots of planaria, no planaria, different combos of that situation. And I can say that it's not the planaria themselves that actually kill baby shrimp. It can be the overfeeding. It can be, ammonia in the water from overfeeding and so forth. But rarely are they going to wipe out 30 babies from each, shrimp. Maybe they'll wipe out one or two each 30 shrimp, even if you have 1,000,000 of them. I did an experiment 2 years ago on the channel. If you guys are curious, I think you can find it back around it was 2 years ago. And I put I don't know, probably 500 planaria that I raised into a bowl with shrimp, the same bowl that's upstairs in my window. Hold on, we'll cover this while we walk. While we walk, Jesus walks. Bum, 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 bum. Dr. Pepper talks. Yes, the slime that the planaria leave behind, you are correct, which is their den. They use it to build a den. Sometimes they use it to trap food particles and to build like an Aufuk lair. But in this bowl here, as long as there are still shrimp in it, and there were yesterday, this was absolutely full of planaria at one point. I gave these poor shrimp no chance of survival. And, oh, yep, there's still shrimp. They don't have a filter. This is how I top off the water. I didn't check the temperature. There's aqua soil and a bunch of plants in there and a few snails, and they've been in there 2 years. So, interesting, I watched them very closely, and they did not kill the babies intentionally. The babies did get stuck. Babies did get stuck, though. Oh, I hope this lemon pleco breeds again. Can we get his true color to show better? No. Also, Blackbeard algae has just slightly subsided on its own. I haven't needed to do much. Sadly, my Dark Knight ram that I had, or at least it was a melanistic, it wasn't a true Dark Knight strain, passed away, got ick really, really, really bad. And I moved the macrostoma bettas into that big 40 breeder downstairs to grow out. Yeah, so that's where they went, if you were wondering who was in there. Hold on, gnarly fish tanks. Any suggestions for cleaning outside of aquarium glass? I read planaria slime left on the glass could be deadly. I don't know about that planaria slime thing being deadly necessarily, but it's gross and it's a pain, and it does leave a slimy film, and so do Aufwuchs. AUFAUCHS, I think. Alpha. It looks like alpha, like a bad word almost, is look how you'd say it. But I have a video on that, and you can check it out it's in the playlist also on water chemistry and microbes. And it's basically a layer that's slimy, and it's good usually. The thing is, you want enough little critters in your biome that you have like 30 or 40 species if you're looking under the microscope. And I'll get back to that. We need to do more microscope episodes again, so I can show you exactly how crazy the diversity is in your aquarium. Maybe I'll take a bunch of still frames, because it's hard to hunt them down live, but maybe I'll do a bunch of still frames and share that. But I have used vinegar to clean anything glass or plastic or metal that's near the water. Usually I just tilt the tank if it's a small tank, and then I'll clean it, or I'll do a big water change and then I'll clean it as much as I can, and then scrape the bottom with a razor blade or whatnot. Which plant were you asking about? And also those magic erasers that I don't know who they're made by, Mr. Clean or 3M or whatever. They're like a little Brillo pad size thing, but they're white. Oh, look at the blue. I wish you guys could see this live. The blue and turquoise on this fish is unreal. I've never seen an angelfish with such color. But yeah, you can use those magic eraser things too that they advertise on TV. Front in foreground, right up front and center. This one? Or these ones? Wait, this one. So, this is Logonandra. It starts with a V. I'm gonna forget it's the variant, but it's named after an Indian province in India. It goes by Kerala as its common name, Logonandra Kerala, or bronze. But this is Logonandra meeboldi, and they're very similar plants, but this one stays much smaller. And they've done a lot of research, and they actually don't know all the species now. They've kind of just admitted, like this one here is just shredded. I don't know if it'll survive, if it'll grow back. I should cut these leaves because they're just wasting energy. The fact that they still have life growing out to them. But yeah, this one's doing better. It has a little bit of algae on it. But Logonandra, you can get it from Aquatic Arts, or not Aquatic Arts, sorry. You can get some from them sometimes, but This one you can get in a tissue culture from Aqua Design Amano. And I think it's around $10 to $20 depending on who's selling it online most of the time. I've seen it on like Aquasabi, but I think it's Lagonandra Kerala is how its common name is, but it's really Lagonandra ver something. And I can't remember it off the top of my head. But when I did the last video with tissue cultures in it, where I showed you how I was breaking up the pink panther versus the pink flamingo and testing the different brands, and when I got my blue rams, that is the same video where I go over the name of it. And I'll try to think of it and put it in the comments later. All right, guys. Come on. Buy a steamer. It's easy. Sanitize your stuff without chemicals. Yeah, as long as you don't have acrylic. Steamers are great. All right, guys. Well, it's been good to chat with you. I'm getting hot. It's just humid. Ugh. And I swear my eye looks like it's getting worse. But in any case, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you so much for the super chats and those of you who support me on Patreon. Also, the links to the Teespring in the description. Those of you buying clothes, I'm gonna add more art. I promise. I'm actually doing some art of cribs and things for Ginger, and so that will be really cool. I'm really excited about that. So she has bought some other art from me. I met her when I went to Nashville, and I will be creating more art for her soon. I think I'm waiting on one or two more little pictures, but I just wanted to thank y'all for joining me and supporting me, whether that's watching, sharing, thumbs up, whatever it is. It really means a lot to me. We've passed that 10,000 mark. You know, I wanted to thank you. We're doing some giveaways. If you won the giveaway from last time and I haven't emailed you, I think I forgot one or two people out of the 7 I ended up doing. Shoot me an email or message me, and I'll try to get that squared away ASAP. And then the other thing is we'll be doing the giveaway with Aquatic Arts. So also, if you want 100 extra entries, so everybody subscribing is going to get 10 entries, and if you buy something, every time you have an order, you're going to get 100 extra entries towards those gift certificates. So there's no purchase necessary. You don't have to subscribe. People can just say I want in, and they'll get one ticket, and then I'll have a random number generator generate who's winning the prize. So basically, you're 10 times more likely to win if you buy something from Aquatic Arts. And that's just a plug for them. I talk a lot about sustainable ecology and how we avoid bacteria that is deadly and harmful to humans. Also, how we avoid planaria and snails and all sorts of other things, Ellobiopsidae in our shrimp. I explain that in the live stream where I go over fish diseases, how your fish can kill you. No, it's a dramatic name, but it's true. It can. And someone with lupus like me, or someone if they had AIDS or cancer, end-stage cancer, and on lots of chemo drugs, they could also die from an infection or from fish tuberculosis or whale finger or blubber finger is my favorite name for it. So yeah, or staph for that matter, MRSA, the other stuff that can live other places too. But check that out because I go over why Aquatic Arts also, they cost more, but they also, when I've had a new tank, I never get any sort of seed shrimp or anything appearing in their water. I don't know how that is because my tap water even does it. But they're very big on treating and quarantining a long time, really responsibly. And if something's wrong with one or two, they don't even ship out the rest after that. They take the loss, and that's why their fish prices are really good. But they don't like lie or deceive you by saying this fish is $20 and shipping's free. when really the fish is worth only $4. So they just have shipping, and it's overnight for the animal's health and for or plants. And so it's worthwhile, I think, once you spend about $50. Get 15% off and then get a chance to get a gift card. We've given away now over $5,000 from them back to you guys on the channel, as well as my plants and fish too. It's been too cold to ship fish for me personally. But remember, guys, take care of your fish, your plants, your shrimp, all your little critters. Take care of them. Take care of the people close to you that you love and that love you. And of course, take care of yourself. Because if you don't do that, you can't do any of the rest. And I think if half of us do half of that, half the time, we're going to have a world that's twice as good. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining me. And if you have comments or questions or want to help out, you can visit the links below, the Patreon, the Teespring, or leave a comment. Or PayPal me at alexanderjwilliamson at gmail.com is my address. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. And Ginger Graves, I don't think you're watching this live, but I will be working on your artwork. And if she's kind enough, you guys may be getting Kribs with their babies in tow as an illustration on a shirt in the near future, as well as angelfish. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.